Alright, so I figured I would document this. Since I already ruined one, I am getting ready to put on the protective film for the XP pen. The first one, I had very big problems with dust and cat hair getting into the screen area. And in spite of using the little sticker for the dust collection and so on and so forth, it did not work very well. And yes, I'm using a credit card knife. So I did a little bit of investigation into whether or not it was straight, just to make sure that it actually does fit the screen properly. And it definitely does. It is the right size. It is just unbelievably difficult to line it up correctly on all sides. And I'm sorry if I'm getting in the way, but unfortunately, the most important part of this is to get it on correctly. So here's what I intend to do. To get it in line, get it all lined out correctly. Actually, I need to spin this around so this little tab is on the other side over here. I'm going to use some painter's tape. I'm going to tape along this edge over here once I get it perfectly aligned, and possibly even a little bit over here on the sides. And then I'm going to peel it off and start pulling it up under from that edge and stick it down on this side. Slowly work my way in that direction until I get the whole thing done. So before I do anything else, and this is the ruined screen. You probably can't see it, but there's all kinds of hair and dust particles all over this thing. They seem to be quite well attracted to it. Might want to consider getting one of these as a dust collector. Anyway, so I'm going to get this aligned with this edge and I'm going to tape along here, and then not get it aligned just along that edge. I got to make sure the whole entire thing is perfectly aligned. Otherwise, this whole process would be pointless. So I'm going to really quickly wipe the screen down again. I've kept it covered so there shouldn't be anything on here, but I'm pretty sure there probably was. Get that back in place. Grab my masking tape again. Set that up here. And are we aligned? Almost. I think that right there should get it. So now we'll pull off an edge of this, maybe. Just check it again in case I rotated my arm or something, because there's a good chance that I might have. It appears that everything is still in alignment. I'll tape across this corner. And then I'll do the same thing Lovely. Guess I could use my knife, but whatever. Haven't even turned this thing on yet. Okay, so that should secure this at least reasonably well. So now, the reason why I have this laying on top of this is because the edges try to bow up, and I don't want to give any opportunity for dust to get up under there while I do this, because it was a nightmare when I tried this earlier. All right, so in theory, I'm going to be pulling this direction to peel this across, and then I'm going to push that down and then peel it under as I go. So now what am I doing? What I'm doing now is I'm going to make sort of a little bitty grip on the edge of this that I can grab onto on this outer edge over here. So I lift this up, and hopefully this helps somebody, because this thing absolutely in no way wanted to cooperate. Fought with it for a while, and it was entirely uncooperative. Okay, so that should do it. So this off to the side. And here we go. Peel this up and under. Across. And I should be able to flatten that down so that it attaches almost. Let me flip that so that I can put a little bit more pressure on this. It's actually working. Don't want that to come up. I'm not terribly concerned about whether or not I get all the air bubbles out in this pass, because if all goes according to plan, it should go reasonably easy. And the air bubbles should normally be air bubbles and not, like it was last time, a whole bunch of dust particles. Looks like there may be a few problem bubbles, but over time those can be worked out. It's all a matter of whether or not successful and it looks like this actually worked. Let's see, a little bit closer to the light. Sorry if I pulled that out of camera. I pulled that out of frame, whatever. So far, all the dust particles that I'm seeing are on this side. Yeah, it worked. All right, so there you go. Probably the easiest way to get one of these screens on without dust particles or anything like that, because I have 3 cats, and obviously that means that there's going to be cat hair and cat dander and so on and so forth floating around, in addition to any random dust particles that are always floating around. So if you don't have to deal with animal dander or anything like that, and wherever it is that you're putting this on, then it's going to be even easier to deal with. But anyway, that is the easiest solution to getting one of these screen protectors on I have ever tried to date. Hope this helps you.